The six-spined sea urchin, scientifically known as Echinothrix diadema, is a remarkable species that thrives in the tropical waters of the Indo-Pacific region, ranging from the Red Sea to the coast of Australia and throughout the central and western Pacific Ocean. With its distinct appearance, characterized by long, sharp spines radiating from a central body, this species is both a fascinating subject of marine study and an important player in its ecological niche. Despite its name, the six-spined sea urchin does not have exactly 6 spines, rather, it refers to the 6 primary, long spines that project from its spherical body, though many smaller spines also adorn its surface. These spines are one of the defining features of the species and serve as both a defense mechanism and a means of locomotion, allowing the urchin to maneuver across the ocean floor and protect itself from predators. The body of the six-spined sea urchin is typically a small, round, rigid test that is covered in hard, protective plates. The test, or shell, is composed of calcium carbonate and gives the urchin its distinctive shape. Around the edges of the test are the long, spiny appendages that give the creature its name. These spines are not only an effective defense mechanism against potential predators, but they also help the urchin to camouflage itself among the rocky and coral environments where it lives. The spines are covered in small, sharp projections that can deter many predators from attempting to feed on the urchin, such as fish or sea otters. The color of the urchin can vary greatly, with some individuals sporting a dark purple or black hue, while others are lighter shades of brown or green, depending on the specific environment in which they reside. This variation in coloration helps the sea urchin to blend into its surroundings, whether it be the sandy seabed, coral reefs, or rocky crevices. The six-spined sea urchin's primary mode of locomotion is through the use of its spines and tube feet, which are part of the urchin's unique water vascular system. The tube feet are small, flexible appendages that extend from the urchin's body and are used to help it move across surfaces. The tube feet operate through hydraulic pressure, allowing the urchin to move in a slow, deliberate manner across the ocean floor. The long spines also play a role in the urchin's movement, serving as both stabilizers and as a mechanism to aid in burrowing or anchoring itself in rocky or coral environments. These spines can be quite mobile, enabling the urchin to reposition itself or adjust its stance as needed. Diet-wise, the six-spined sea urchin is a primarily herbivorous species, feeding on algae, seagrasses, and other plant material found on the ocean floor. Its specialized mouthparts, called Aristotle's lantern, are a key feature of its feeding behavior. The lantern is a complex structure made up of 5 calcareous teeth that can scrape algae off rocks, coral, or other surfaces. This feeding behavior makes the six-spined sea urchin an important part of the ecosystem, as it helps regulate algae growth on coral reefs and rocky outcrops. By consuming algae, the urchin prevents certain types of seaweed from overgrowing and smothering the coral, which could otherwise harm the reef. In this way, the six-spined sea urchin plays a crucial role in maintaining the balance of the reef ecosystem, ensuring that the coral reefs remain healthy and productive. While herbivorous, the six-spined sea urchin has been observed occasionally consuming detritus or even small invertebrates when plant material is less abundant. This adaptability allows the urchin to survive in a range of environmental conditions and to exploit different food sources when necessary. However, the urchin's primary diet remains plant-based, and it is most often seen grazing on algae, particularly macroalgae, which are the main food source in its environment. In terms of behavior, the six-spined sea urchin is generally solitary and tends to inhabit crevices or sheltered areas in the reef or rocky environments. It often seeks shelter from predators by hiding in these spaces, where its spines provide additional protection. While the species does not engage in social behaviors like some other marine organisms, it is often found in areas of high algal growth, where its feeding activities help to control the amount of algae present in the ecosystem. The urchin's behavior is influenced by the availability of food and the presence of predators. If food is scarce, the urchin may move to other areas in search of better grazing grounds. Additionally, the six-spined sea urchin's spines and its ability to camouflage itself make it well suited to avoiding many of the common predators in its habitat, such as triggerfish, which may attempt to attack it for its soft internal tissue. The reproductive cycle of the six-spined sea urchin is not dissimilar to that of other sea urchins, involving external fertilization. During the breeding season, which typically occurs in warmer months. Males and females release their sperm and eggs into the water column, where fertilization takes place. This method of reproduction is common among marine invertebrates and is particularly effective in species that live in environments with a high density of individuals, such as coral reefs. Once fertilized, the eggs develop into larvae, which drift in the water column before settling to the seafloor, where they eventually metamorphose into juvenile urchins. This reproductive strategy allows for a high number of offspring, increasing the chances of survival in a competitive and predator-rich environment. While the six-spined sea urchin is not currently considered to be endangered, it faces a number of threats that could impact its populations. Coral reef degradation, caused by factors such as climate change, pollution, and destructive fishing practices, poses a significant risk to the habitats of this species. Coral reefs provide shelter, food, and breeding grounds for the six-spined sea urchin, and the destruction of these reefs can have devastating effects on urchin populations. Additionally, overfishing and the collection of sea urchins for the aquarium trade have reduced numbers in some areas, further stressing the species. In certain regions, habitat destruction from coastal development and pollution has led to a decline in the availability of suitable environments for the urchins, making it harder for them to find food and shelter. Efforts to conserve the six-spined sea urchin, along with other reef species, are critical in ensuring the long-term survival of this important marine organism. Protecting coral reefs and promoting sustainable fishing practices are key strategies in safeguarding the habitats of the six-spined sea urchin. Marine Protected Areas, MPAs, have proven effective in providing safe havens for species like the six-spined sea urchin, where fishing and other human activities are restricted. By reducing the pressures on coral reefs and providing refuges for marine life, MPAs allow the urchin populations to recover and maintain healthy, stable populations. The six-spined sea urchin, Echinothrix diadema, is an essential part of the intricate ecosystem of coral reefs. As a keystone species, its interactions with its environment contribute to the overall health of the reef and the balance of the food web. By grazing on algae, it prevents the overgrowth of certain plant species that could otherwise dominate the reef, allowing coral to thrive and ensuring that other marine species have access to the resources they need. The algae-eating habits of the six-spined sea urchin are especially important in areas where coral reefs are already under stress due to environmental factors such as pollution or rising ocean temperatures. In this way, the six-spined sea urchin not only benefits from a healthy coral ecosystem but also plays an active role in sustaining it. Its physical features are uniquely adapted to this environment. The long, sharp spines of the sea urchin provide defense against predators, and the spine's mobility allows the urchin to position itself strategically in crevices or under coral overhangs, where it can avoid being eaten. The tube feet, part of the urchin's water vascular system, further assist in this maneuvering. These tube feet allow the sea urchin to cling to surfaces, navigate rocky or uneven terrain, and burrow into safe spaces within the reef. The urchin's ability to anchor itself firmly to surfaces while grazing on algae is one of the reasons it can survive in such competitive environments. In addition to its defensive spines, the six-spined sea urchin's shell or test is made of calcite, which makes it tough and resistant to breakage. This calcified body structure is important not only for the urchin's protection but also for its role in the marine ecosystem. As sea urchins die and their shells break down, they contribute to the formation of sand and other sediment, which plays a role in the construction and maintenance of the reef substrate. Over time, the remnants of sea urchin tests, along with other calcium carbonate structures, can become part of the reef building process, helping to sustain the very environment that the six-spined sea urchin relies on. The interaction between the six-spined sea urchin and its predators is a complex one. While it is well protected by its spines, it is not invulnerable. Certain fish species, including triggerfish and some types of parrotfish, have developed specialized feeding strategies to overcome the urchin's defenses. These fish have strong jaws that can crush the tough shell of the sea urchin, allowing them to access its soft internal tissue. However, despite this predation pressure, the six-spined sea urchin has evolved several strategies to reduce its risk of being eaten. Its nocturnal behavior, for example, may help it avoid some predators during the day. Additionally, the urchin's tendency to hide in crevices or behind coral provides it with another layer of protection. It is also capable of hiding its spines in the sand or under rocks if it feels threatened, which makes it more difficult for predators to find. Despite these natural predators, the six-spined sea urchin's most significant threat comes from human activity. The destruction of coral reefs, whether due to climate change, pollution, or unsustainable fishing practices, has a profound impact on the species. Coral bleaching, caused by rising ocean temperatures and acidification, weakens the structure of reefs, making them less capable of supporting diverse marine life. This loss of habitat can significantly reduce the population of the six-spined sea urchin and other reef-dependent species. Furthermore, pollution in the form of plastics, heavy metals, and other contaminants poses a threat to the health of the urchins. These pollutants can accumulate in the urchin's body, potentially affecting its feeding habits, reproductive success, and overall health. Overfishing also poses a significant threat to the six-spined sea urchin. In some areas, sea urchins are collected for their use in traditional medicine, for the aquarium trade, or as a food source, particularly in Asian cuisine. The collection of sea urchins for commercial purposes can lead to declines in local populations, particularly if sustainable harvesting practices are not followed. Overharvesting can lead to an imbalance in the reef ecosystem, where the removal of a key species like the six-spined sea urchin can allow algae to proliferate unchecked, potentially causing coral reefs to degrade further. In response to these threats, various conservation strategies have been implemented to protect the six-spined sea urchin and other reef species. Marine Protected Areas, MPAs, are one of the most effective ways to safeguard the health of coral reefs and the species that depend on them. By limiting human activities such as fishing, tourism, and coastal development, MPAs create refuges where marine organisms can thrive without the pressures of exploitation. These protected areas not only provide a safe haven for species like the six-spined sea urchin but also contribute to the recovery of degraded ecosystems by allowing coral reefs to regenerate over time. Restoration efforts aimed at rebuilding coral reefs and enhancing their resilience are also important for the long-term survival of the six-spined sea urchin. Coral restoration projects often involve the transplantation of healthy coral colonies to areas where reefs have been damaged. By restoring coral cover, these efforts help to improve habitat availability for marine species and promote the overall health of the ecosystem. These restoration projects, along with the implementation of sustainable fishing practices and the reduction of pollution, can help mitigate the impact of human activities on coral reefs and ensure that species like the six-spined sea urchin continue to play their critical role in these environments. In addition to formal conservation efforts, public awareness and education about the importance of coral reefs and marine ecosystems are essential in the fight to protect species like the six-spined sea urchin. By increasing understanding of the complex relationships between marine organisms and their environments, we can inspire individuals and communities to take action to reduce their environmental footprint. This includes supporting sustainable seafood consumption, reducing plastic waste, and advocating for stronger protections for marine ecosystems. Public engagement is crucial in fostering a sense of stewardship for the ocean and its inhabitants. In conclusion, the six-spined sea urchin is a vital species in the coral reef ecosystems of the Indo-Pacific region. Through its grazing habits, its role in maintaining the balance of algae in coral populations, and its unique adaptations to its environment, the six-spined sea urchin contributes to the overall health and stability of coral reefs. However, the species faces numerous threats from environmental degradation, overfishing, and pollution. Conservation efforts, including the establishment of marine protected areas, coral restoration projects, and public education initiatives, are crucial in ensuring the survival of this species and the preservation of the delicate ecosystems that it helps sustain. By protecting the six-spined sea urchin and the coral reefs it inhabits, we can safeguard the biodiversity and resilience of marine ecosystems for future generations.